You are listening to the In Between Sales Calls podcast with Derek Shebby, episode 17. Welcome, everyone. Today I'm going to talk about preparation. Preparation should be done in every single thing we do if we want to be successful. It's important to mention, however, that preparation in sales can be dangerous. It's absolutely dangerous if you do not prepare for things that you do. I call that winging it. Not enough preparation is a sure guarantee you will fail in sales. The irony here is that the best salespeople make it look like they don't prepare. They just wing it and they do amazing. But like I mentioned in the first podcast, The Secret Habit of Top Sales Performers, we learned that they actually role play and practice when we aren't looking. So if you don't prepare for whatever it is you need to do, you're just not going to make it in sales. On the other side, though, it's also just as dangerous if you prepare too much. That's called paralysis by analysis. This means paralysis, or being paralyzed, meaning you can't move. And this is also because of analysis, you overthinking something. To put it plainly, if you prepare too much, you end up not doing anything at all because you see all the different outcomes and all you become is worried about all the many things that could happen. And if you're not taking enough action in sales, you're just not going to make it. So how can you prepare the right amount? How can you prepare for something and not have it suck the life out of you by taking too much time? Basically, how can you be effective when you need to get something done? And there's a lot of things we need to do, right? In sales, there's so many things. There's trainings that we have to do. There's prospecting sessions, appointments, proposals, closing meetings. How do we make sure we're effective? Well, I'm going to make this really easy for you in today's success habit. I call today's success habit, what does great look like? So let's think about that question. What does great look like to you? The idea of looking at things from what great looks like to you immediately gets you in the mind frame of a finished outcome. It allows you to focus. It allows you to stop trying to figure out what you're going to go do first. This allows you to create a vision of what you want. So the logical question then becomes, well, how do I get there? There's going to be a lot of different methods for you to get there once you've decided what it is you want, what great looks like. You get to choose the option that works best for you. Let's use prospecting as an example. If you're saying, I need to do prospecting today, ask yourself, what would great look like? So what does great look like in this prospecting session I'm going to do? Okay, let's say that you decide great looks like setting 3 appointments up over the phone today. Okay, now that we know that, let's work backwards. How are you going to get there now that you know what great looks like? Well, the first place to start is what places would be great to set appointments at, right? Let's say you have 20 places in mind. Well, do you have them all written down? The contacts and phone numbers? That's probably where you need to start. Well, then you need something to say to them, right? Do you have something compelling to share with them that would get them to meet with you? Do you have a good enough value statement? Some insight that you can share with them to pique their interest? It's a whole lot easier if they would all be interested in the same value statement, and it would make you a whole lot more effective over the phone too. So try to find 20 accounts that are all similar. So now that you have those accounts, create that message or value statement. Now that you have that created, think, is it realistic that you're going to get all 20 companies to take your call live? Well, probably not, right? Well, what do you think great would be? What would great look like there? Well, it's probably, I would say 5. If you got 25% of them on the phone, that's great. You should feel good about that. Now, if you had 5 on the phone, could you set 3 appointments? Because that's what you need to set, right? That's the goal that you have. That's what great would look like for a call session for you. Well, probably not. You probably wouldn't be able to get 3 appointments out of 5 unless you were prepared for the main objections coming your way. So let me see. They're probably going to say to you these 4 things, these 4 main objections. They're going to say, I'm not interested. They're going to say, I'm too busy. They're going to say, we're good. We already have a vendor that handles that for us. We're all set. And they're going to say, could you send me some information? Well, you should get all your responses ready to go for that. Then you need to practice out loud, as in role play. Now, if you do this, if you can be ready for this with those 5 people that pick up the phone, ready to handle these 4 objections, then I'm willing to bet that you will end up with 3 appointments. It will happen, but you'll need to prepare just like I mentioned. I suppose it's important to mention that this might take you a little bit of time to prepare the first time you do it, right? Because I'm saying these things like it sounds like it's no big deal, but you're really thinking, Derek, it's going to take me a long time to get 20 accounts ready to go. It's going to take me a long time to get my message ready to go, my value statement. It's going to take me time to do that. Well, yeah, the first time you do anything, it takes a long time to do. That's true. That's how it happens with me. First time, I'm super slow. But the second time you do it, though, it's probably going to take you about half the amount of time to get it done. And the third time, you're going to be a lot faster. And this is something that you're going to be doing every single day of your sales career. So making phone calls and prospecting is something you're going to get better at, being more effective and getting it done faster as you go. Don't even worry about it. But this is just one example, though. We're just talking about how to apply what great looks like when you're prospecting. Let's think about it from another angle. Let's look at it from a sales manager standpoint. So for all you sales managers that are listening in, let's say you need to put together a training for your team because you want to get them better, right? What does great look like for a training for your team? Well, it's one where everyone improves their sales skills and then can immediately apply it to their customers, right? I'm sure you're thinking that. Well, doesn't that sound great though? If your team can immediately make more money and help more people out because of your training that you did? Well, I think that sounds great. Now that we know what great looks like though, we still don't know what to train on. The good news is there's so many different areas to focus on to get better. And it's really never ending. So it's okay to have a plan to train on many different sales skills throughout the months. But as long as it's great and effective, people will make time for it, right? Your people will be excited to get to the next training. This could be a challenge you run into sometimes by having too many choices. Now, when you have too many choices, then try to choose one that's either timeless or it's something that's relevant to what's going on right now, meaning it's a skill you know people could use help with. So I would ask myself the question, what does great look like? What skill would really help my people right now make more money? Well, I always like talking about demo skills. So let's say you focus on demo skills. After all, the better you get at doing demos, the more money you make. So then you ask yourself, what should you train on with demo skills? I mean, there's so much you could do. Why not go back to the success habit again? Why not help share what a great demo looks like? What great looks like? You see what I did there? So when you figure that out, when you're sharing what a great demo looks like, go over the different steps of the demo. Go over the fundamentals. Go over what's worked for you. And then, because you want your people to get better, a great training would involve them practicing, right? Well, I would recommend if you go with 30 minutes of training time, start to finish, a good breakdown might be 5 minutes of introducing the purpose of all this and the goals at the end, and then 10 minutes of actual training of showing them what great looks like, and then giving them 10 minutes to role play. When that's done, you just have 5 minutes to wrap everything up and close and give them some sort of challenge for the day and things like that. And that's 30 minutes. 5-minute intro, 10 minutes of your training, 10 minutes of them practicing, 5 minutes of closing. That's it. This is just an example of putting together a training session. You can apply this concept though. What does great look like for any type of activity that you do? Your appointments with your customers. Just ask yourself, what would great look like inside of this meeting? How can you make sure you're doing things that would result in that great outcome? Your speeches that you have to do in front of your company or in front of your peers. What would great look like? What would be a speech that would get people to say that was amazing? What's the outcome you're looking for? And when you think about what great looks like, you'll quickly get to what you should focus on. How about the proposals you present? What would great look like in a proposal? If someone looked at this and said, this is a great proposal, they would say that's because it has this, this, and that. That concept, what does great look like, can help you cut through your preparation time. It can help you do enough for it to actually be great. It can help you clearly see the outcome of what needs to be done in your part. You're not winging anything anymore. You're not overthinking anything anymore. You're just getting right to what you need to take action. And in the end, when you keep using that mantra, what does great look like, and apply it to everything you do, you will consistently be the living embodiment of what great looks like as a sales performer. That's it for today's episode. Thank you for allowing me to join you on your sales journey. See you next time. Hey, if you enjoyed listening to this podcast, then you have to come check out my free 5-day sales training course of my proven Sales in 21 Days program. I designed it to help you make more money in sales. Whether you're looking for a fast start or just looking to sharpen your skills, you can't afford to miss it. Come get free access today over at www.salesin21days.com. That's www.salesin21days.com. I'd love to have you join the program. See you there.